Welcome back, one and all, to Let's Play Shadowrun Dragonfall, the Director's Cut. I'm the Arcane Rogue. Last time, we stopped Dr. Vauclair from infusing the Firewing with the virus. Now it's time to confront him. Once again, a transplast window separates you from Adrian Vauclair, but this time his steadfast will is gone. He stands motionless, hands at his sides, eyes dead, spent. The strength that drove him, the steely resolve that couldn't be shaken by sickness or time or age, is gone. It's theirs now, the world. All theirs. It doesn't have to be that way, Doctor. You can still make a difference. I am old, dying. My blood betrayed me long ago when I met the radiation of the SOX. The worms will continue their machinations, consolidate their power, extract their tribute. And humanity? We are no more than treasure. Favored baubles to be collected, items to be traded, resources to be spent or hoarded. He sweeps his eyes across the carnage that was his life's work until they come to rest on the dragon. He grits his teeth. 42 years. 42 years, and we finally had our chance to make a difference. And you destroyed it. I gave everything I had, everything I loved. I'm sorry, Hermie. Doctor, no! Damn. We could free the dragon. No. No, I don't think we will. Dragon is not infectious. Never make a deal with a dragon. As you are about to tap your finger on the key, you feel a hand clasp your shoulder. Hang on. That'll leave both the dragon and the woman to burn to death. Is that what you really want? Yes. It serves her right. Punch the button, alarm klaxons blare, an ominous rumbling fills the air and the walls start to shake. We need to leave. Now. You have a gift of understatement. Let's get out of here. Meow. You step out of the van, climbing down into the tunnel leading back to your safe house. Just hours ago, you saved Berlin from fire and ash, from the would-be sacrifice of Dr. Adrian Vauclair. It feels strange now, returning in secret, in silence. The other residents of the Cruz Bazaar go about their business unaware of what almost happened here tonight. It's finally over. Your team, your kids, are safe once again. Time to go meet with the team. In a moment. I return. I had to get myself a beverage. I have a feeling that I have a lot more reading ahead of me. The team is waiting when you walk in. Their faces are haggard, their shoulders slumped. Was there a point to all this, Griffin? We lost Paul. Lost Monica. Cruz Bazaar, so many people dead. It was just supposed to be a simple job, remember? A milk run. Get into the estate, snatch data, get home in time for worm talk on the Trid. Yeah, it wasn't a milk run. But Vauclair's plan failed because of us. That's something. I get that, Griffin, I do. That's not who I am. I'm a soldier. I take orders, I execute. This whole thing about dragons taking over the world, rather than them slowly hoarding everything, it's too big to think about. We're street level. We run the shadows, that's it. Worrying about these sorts of issues is beyond our pay grade. That's what they want. That's what they need. The corps, the dragons, the politicians, everyone. They want us to think we can't make a difference. They put effort, a lot of effort, into making us feel small, insignificant. Rogue slowly turns and looks at his audience, raises a single eyebrow. But we're not. We had the power in our hands today. We had a choice and we made it. And because of that, the world is different. For good or for ill. That's right. For good or for ill. We can't see the future. I don't think anyone can. But the world is different now, and we're the ones who changed it. So did we, did we win? You don't win in this business. You survive. That's all a runner can hope for. All you can expect. No, that's not Griffin. I'll tell you what we did. We avenged Monica and Paul. That was what we set out to do. And we did it. Watch the team take this in, Iger nodding agreement. Glory, staring straight ahead, lost in thought. Dietrich frowning, eyeing the floor. Blitz, fiddling with his deck and pretending not to understand. Iger breaks the silence. So what now? Monica's gone. Paul's gone. We keep running together, or is this the end of the road? I'm out. I have some business to take care of. Personal, violent kind. I don't know when I'll be back. If you need anything, you know where to come. Understood. See you around. I'll miss you, love. Be safe. I'm in. Getting kind of old for a Shadowrunner, but I'd rather die in the shadows with you people than live. I don't know. I thought I had something going there. Whatever. Point is, I'm in. That was beautiful, man. Iger turns to you. So, Griffin, you gonna stick around with the Cruise Bazaar or keep running the shadows with me? Done a heck of a job. I'd be happy to follow your lead. If it means picking up where Monica left off and keeping the Cruise Bazaar safe, I'm in too. Makes sense to me. What about you, Blitz? Oh, I am most definitely in. Totally. Insane dragons, a-holes with enormous machine guns, devil dogs and humpy legs when no one's looking. This is the place for me, no question about it. How could I say no? Dante humped your leg? I don't want to talk about it. It's still too fresh. Before I forget, the Turkish coffee guy sent one of his street rats over before you got here. Said he wants to talk to you about something. Thanks. I'm going to go up and see what's going on in the Cruise Bazaar. Stop by the coffee shop. Okay. Can we talk to Glory? Headed somewhere? I have a job to do, something I'd rather not discuss. I could give you a hand with this mystery job if you want. What I have to do, well, it's a long story, and I don't have time to explain it now. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Maybe if you'd approached me about it earlier, things would have been different, but this is my fight, my responsibility, and I'm not afraid to face it anymore. That doesn't mean you couldn't use the help. Alright, good hunting. We tried to approach you multiple times. I'm guessing there's probably some, like, backdoor affinity calculation. That you have to do. Someone can explain it in the comments. Let's go talk to Atlas. Very propitious it is that we may speak again, O Master of Mayhem. I have a proposal for you that could prove most lucrative to us both, Effendim. Most lucrative. Fortune will surely smile upon our blessed partnership if you will only accept. You have my attention. What do you have in mind? With the passing of Herr Amsel, may God bestow his mercy upon him, you find yourself without a fixer. I wish to offer my services to you in this regard. You will find that I am most connected and a business-savvy partner. Sounds like a match made in heaven. I have already found a potential client, O blessed one. A most prosperous one with deep pockets. He is eager to meet you. Take the U-Bahn to Brandenburger Tor. Got it. Okay. Algernon, what are you doing out here, man? Behold the dragon slayer. Do not mock the troll, Algernon Half-Dream. Nor should you praise him either, for good or ill, the cycle of a great worm has ended. Never again will she walk upon this earth, nor soar over its mountain. The day is full of portent. How did you know about the dragon? A friend. When a dragon falls, the sound resonates across time and space. The death of a great worm is of interest to a multitude of beings, and Algernon Half-Dream is among their circle. There will be a reckoning. Am I in trouble? Not you, and not this you, and not today. Within 3 cycles, what the world has lost it shall rue. But the ice storm will come, and the codex will be broken, and woe to the dancer. This I prophesy. We must be going, and soon. Going? Where? Machu Picchu, South America. A business errand to become urgent. It will not be urgent until tomorrow, Half-Dream. You have time to pack your wares. There's more to it than that, woman, and you know it. Goodbye, Griffin. We will meet again, I think. Though not for a long, long time. Alright, bro. Have a good one. Don't think we really need to talk to anybody else. Let's just hit the U-Bahn. See where this takes us. The train car is empty except for the man in the immaculately tailored Italian suit. You notice him watching you for several minutes while the train rumbles its way towards Brandenburger Tor. Finally, he speaks. The stranger's words come out slowly in a deep, melodious tone that is easier to hear despite the noise of the train. He takes his time accentuating each word, relishing each vowel and each consonant, tasting them as if they were a delicacy. Hello. I assume that the business with Dr. Vauclair is concluded, yes? Just gonna keep an eye on this guy. Hans Brockhaus. I represent an interested party, someone who wishes to know about your encounter with Dr. Vauclair. Hey, I remember you from the last game. Does this interested party understand that information is a commodity? My employer also wishes to hear about the Lady Firefang. A fascinating creature, so unlike her brother and sisters. It is a pity that she has passed from this world. She was a magnificent creature, and the world is diminished by her passing. I am sure you would agree. Dragons are no different from anyone else. There are those who take and those who get taken. A dragon is just another taker. Just another taker. Interesting. Dragons take, this is undeniable, but they cannot be considered just another taker, as you put it. They are the ultimate takers. It is their reason for existence. The great dragons are very old and very powerful and very, very cunning. A cunning unknowable to you. You look at a moth and barely perceive sentience. You glance its way, amused as it flutters towards a bright light in a vain attempt to what? To enter? To draw strength? To burn? It doesn't know. Its epic struggle is barely 1/100th of your lifespan. Sum total of its existence is nothing against the vast scale of your struggles, your hopes, your dreams, which it could not fathom in 1,000,000 years. Poor moth. You will live and die between the beats of a dragon's heart, mine friend. What hope do you have of understanding them? Not much. I'm still not sure why we're even having this conversation. How disappointing. We have been following your work for some time now, and we were under the impression you possessed a faint spark of perspicacity. Or perhaps you were simply being cagey. No matter, I will speak more plainly. My Lady Firewing was a nurturer, a caregiver rare among her kind. Where her brothers and sisters saw the world as a prize to be won, she saw it as a garden to be tended. Can you imagine? For world upon world, the great dragon Firewing brought wisdom and succor to countless souls, and she was loved for it, exalted, a goddess. When she awoke from her long slumber in 2012 and saw what the world has become, what meta-humanity had done to the garden she had tended for ages, she struck with the rage, regret, frustration, and anguish of a mother whose children had played with fire and burned the house down, killing themselves in the blaze. She unleashed fire and death through her tears. And now she is gone. The sixth world was her last. You seem to know a lot about dragons, Hans. Think your employer wants you telling me all this? I am sure of it. You may consider this conversation an employment interview for a very influential client. One who pays extraordinarily well. Now listen. Removing his hands from his knees, folding them neatly in his lap. I tell you all of this so that you have context, perspective, before I ask you this next question, Shadowrunner. If Dr. Vauclair's weapon had not required dragon fire, if it had been capable of destroying every dragon on Earth without touching a hair on a meta-humanity's head, would you have used it? No. Wiping out an entire species is wrong. Monochromatic thinking, but I appreciate a career criminal's attempt at morality. Of course, you feel that wiping out a species is wrong. Feeling is a subtle but ingrained defense mechanism that should be cherished. One day it may be meta-humanity poised for extermination. Well, on to the business at hand. My employer wishes to secure your team services for a series of operations that will likely require the remainder of 2054. Sounds interesting. Who's the boss? The boss is the great dragon Lofware. He is sometimes referred to as the Golden Worm. Perhaps you have heard of him? What makes you think I am going to make a deal with the dragon? Because you have already been working for him for some time now, mein Herr. Or did you think Green Winters found the Harfeld Manor on his own? If your boss was behind this whole thing, then he really backed the wrong horse. Something tells me he didn't want the Firewing dead. No. No. The best answer to this is to say nothing. The rattle of wheel on track gives way to a shimmying screech. Gradually, the train begins to slow. This is my stop. Coming? I've got nowhere else I need to be. The train comes to a halt and the doors open. Rockhouse stands, brushing off his Italian suit, and exits without another word. As you turn to follow, your eye catches an advertisement for Worm Talk above the subway car door. Rockhouse glances back at you from the platform, the light from the car reflecting yellow in his gaze. You step out of the subway car and follow him up the stairs and into the Berlin night. Into the shadows. Berlin Newsfax contains just one report of a large-scale explosion in the countryside east of Berlin. An abandoned castle is reportedly consumed in a massive fireball that shakes the countryside and leaves a crater 60 feet deep. A natural gas leak is suspected, and the location is soon cordoned off by unidentified corporate forces. This news is eclipsed when the Seder Krupp announces its acquisition of Aryan Space, the last remaining arm of the European space program. The Flux State's anarchist rule remains until 2055, when joint corporate forces, acting with the support of the German government, invade the city. It is widely known that the Great Dragon Lofware is responsible for orchestrating this action. After weeks of fighting, the surviving anarchists are forced to retreat to the eastern part of the city. A truce is signed in 2060, and Berlin is again divided by a wall. The Great Dragon Dunkelzahn is elected President of the United Canadian and American States in 2057. He is promptly assassinated as he leaves an inauguration party at the Watergate Hotel while in human form. Popular opinion is that another great dragon is responsible, as only a dragon can kill a dragon, but those in the shadows hint that an act of powerful blood magic is the cause. Memories of Firewing and of the Dragonfall fade further into obscurity, replaced by media's fascination with the dating habits of the latest SimSense stars. The name of Dr. Adrian Vauclair has since been lost to the shadows. That was it. This has been Shadowrun Dragonfall, the Director's Cut. A Harebrained Schemes production. Made some really fun games. Battletech among them. I have played a bit of Battletech. I have not finished Battletech, but it is one thing that I am playing, on my own. Of course, they made the first Shadowrun game. They made, Hong Kong, which is the game after this. And I will eventually play Shadowrun Hong Kong. I hope that you have enjoyed your time in the Sixth World with me. Oh, production baby. We can just fast forward the credits. So, what do I think about this game? Well, much the same as I did with Shadowrun Returns, there are some serious clunky aspects to the interface. Particularly the inability to pass equipment between your team members. It's mind-boggling. It is utterly mind-boggling. Because, at the tabletop, if you're sitting there, you could say, oh, I've got a spare medkit here. Not a problem. I understand it's a computer role-playing game, there are limitations, yada yada yada, but this seems like, the bar for this one is so low, it's actually buried in the ground. It is not that hard. We have managed inventory across multiple party members in many, many games. Either that or you have a pooled community inventory that all the party can draw from. One or the other, right? That is probably my biggest gripe. As far as a squad-based tactical RPG goes, I think it's pretty good. I'd give it a solid, 8 out of 10. Is it the best one I've ever played? No. Is it the worst one I've ever played? Very much no. It's better than average. I would be interested to see your thoughts and feelings. How do you feel about the choices that we made in this run? What do you feel about Griffin and his team? If somebody could explain to me how we get access to Glory's personal quest, or is that just scripted that no matter what we do, she's gonna just go off at the end of the game and do her own thing? Maybe we'll see Glory again. Maybe we'll see Griffin again. Maybe we'll see Hexadecimal again. Hexadecimal being the character from Shadowrun Returns that I ran. It seems like Lofweir is, his machinations are far from finished. But, as I said, I appreciate your thoughts, I appreciate you sticking with me on this journey, and I will see you in the next adventure. Until then, I've been the Arcane Rogue, and as always, I hope you have a wonderful day.